Binge the full week ad-free over at patreon.com/inspireddisorder.
What you manifest in your mind, you can bring to reality.
Bacurau, independent film, Brazilian film. I heard recommended. Apparently it's on the list, top movie lists of some film critics, which I don't necessarily agree with, but it was enough to spark my interest, and actually purchased it on through Apple. Did not, when it comes to, it wasn't available to stream anywhere that I mean, on a service that I have. So when it comes to renting, paying $4 to rent something or $12 to buy it or $10, whatever it was, I just bought it. It's just, I mean, you never know if it's a movie that I really enjoyed. And it was very interesting. I did not, I felt like it was far too complex. There was a lot going on that I don't think needed to be there for the kind of the messages, the kind of metaphors this movie was trying to communicate. But I enjoyed it. I just felt it was kind of long. It was kind of confusing. But I enjoyed it. It's really, it's gonna be spoilers within this review. Obviously, most of them are. It's about a small Brazilian town, Bacurau, a small town in Brazil, and the government is fucking with them. They're cut off their water, and the new mayor or whatever, and it takes place in a near future. So it can almost be, I mean, it really could just be a modern day. Aside from the only thing that makes this a not modern day is that the cell phones are clear, but everything else exists right now. Drones are involved in this. There's kind of a point in the movie where there's a drone flying, but it's made to look like a UFO. And I think the director was trying to hint at maybe aliens, which are, or metaphorically maybe, because the people controlling the drones are these kind of mercenaries that were it seems to be, I mean, there's kind of a lot of vagueness to what this movie's trying to say. So I'm going to attempt to kind of interpret it through what I believe. And also kind of listening to vague reviews of it. So it's a small town, and the mayor's trying to eliminate the small town from being. For whatever reason, they don't go into why it's trying to be eliminated, but there's a scene where the teacher is trying to show the kids where Bacurau is on the map, and it's not showing up on this tablet that they have, to teach. And then there's a TV screen in the classroom, which is pretty modern day. But the town is like, it's a small village in Brazil. It's not like an industrialized place. So the town literally disappears. They try to jam the cell phone signal so cell phones don't work. And you see the movie opens with them, with one of the main characters driving back to Bacurau trying to deliver medicine to Bacurau in a water truck. And the water truck's necessary because the government destroyed all the aqueducts that carried the water, so they have to transport in the water. And then the governor does other things that kind of shows that he just doesn't care about these people. But the movie also expresses that this isn't the first time this town has had to fight back against oppressors, right? There's this reference to this museum quite a bit when these two strangers show up. It's not until towards the end of the movie where you actually see this museum. And I believe once you're inside the museum and they're showing like news clippings and stuff, if I could read Portuguese, there's probably a lot more information to be had through that. uh, instead of just seeing pictures where it seems like this is the first time. And there's a lot of other things that make it feel like this isn't the first time that the people of Bacurau have had to rise up against people trying to eliminate them. But it's very clear that the government's trying to get rid of them, and it feels like it's very much like a metaphor for almost like gentrification, or just the white oppressors, colonizers going in to eliminate to eliminate culture, to eliminate people's way of being, and to eliminate kind of a history of a place. So it has a lot of those kind of underlying meanings in it. Um, but in addition to the governor cutting off the water, at one point the water tanker is shot with bullet holes and it's leaking water. So it's clear that they're actively trying to hurt these people in ways structurally. But then there's also, it cuts to with the drone showing up, which even the people of Bacurau were able to, when seeing it, one of the people, like, at no point thought it was a flying saucer, even though that's what it looks like. It was clearly a drone. But I think metaphorically it works because it is very much almost like an alien invasion, because it's these Blackwater types, private um, murderers for hire. These people, these like outsourcing civil war, where it seems like the mayor hired these, or governor hired these like Blackwater-esque type people, where a lot of them are not all from America. They're all white. Even the two Brazilians that were there are very white complexion. There's Americans there. There's a German there. But they are very much of the white persuasion, so it really has the feeling of like colonizers coming in, and it's mentioned in their conversations that they get paid based on how many people they kill, and they have a strategy for how they're going to go in and take out this town. Um, so it is very much, and then this movie really doesn't hit the road. Like, there's so much setup. It's like this movie is 2 hours and 20 minutes long or something like that, and the 2 hours are spent just setting up things very vaguely. And then the last 20 minutes is this kind of standoff, where these militia people, these Blackwater people, are going in to invade this town. And they realize that the town isn't to be trifled with. They find out that the town has, at least it seems like, according to their museum, this is the first time the people of Bacurau have had to fend off people trying to change their way of life. And it's just the world that it creates, the kind of reality that it creates, is very interesting. The movie starts off when this character gets to Bacurau delivering the medicine, delivering like vaccines and like different things, for like polio and like all what vaccines are for, delivering vaccines. It's also, I think it was in conjunction with her mom or her grandmother dying. And the grandmother is like the leader of Bacurau, and it was like probably it's something that happened before the movie starts, but it's probably the thing where the people of Bacurau knew that this is okay. We're getting close to that time where we're gonna have to do our thing. Um, and they did their thing. I mean, I enjoyed the end of it. I enjoyed kind of how that it finally did wrap up, because I didn't know what the movie was about, really. I mean, you're introduced to these people that are going in to kill them, but you don't really know why. I mean, you kind of have an idea. And there's like multiple main characters within Bacurau, or at least it feels like it. Like, it starts off with Teresa. It seems like she's the main character, but then there's this other guy that's wanted, that almost feels like a main character, but then there's this third guy that's like an outcast of Bacurau, but still like still he almost seems like Simba in The Lion King, where it's like he left, he was like cast out of Bacurau, but then comes back to fight off the hyenas. at the end. Um, so a little bit overly complex, very interesting. Stylistically, it's shot like a Western. It's described as being a Western. It's also described as being genre bending, which I didn't feel like it was very genre bending. I mean, I guess if you're gonna compare it to like maybe a Western and sci-fi, but the sci-fi elements I didn't feel were very science fiction. I think it could have easily just been a modern day shot Western style, modern day with just iPhones instead of clear phones. But drones already exist, so it's like having a drone that looks like a flying saucer UFO is not like crazy. And like they're wearing earpieces and they have little cameras on them. All that stuff is like currently in use. So like the genre bending aspect of this movie, I don't feel was very much. And also, there's like this supernatural aspect. Like, there's a moment at the end where they're all taking this. It's supposed to be like this hallucinogenic drug or something, and maybe that's the drug they take to be able to carry out, uh, you know, the massacre that they're doing when these people show up. But there's a lot of things that aren't explicitly. They're very vague. They're very vague, and it's kind of messy, I would say. But I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the authenticity of the movie and the realness of the movie and the attempt at what they were trying to do and trying to do like kind of an interesting commentary using kind of like real and like messy and raw methods. So check it out if you want. Bacurau. It's not my favorite movie of the year of last year, but a very interesting film, and I'm glad I watched it. Get yourself amazing, inexpensive cell phone service and $25 in credit when you use my link, inspireddisorder.com/ting. That's TING. It's a cell phone service I've been using for years. I love it. My bill is super, super cheap with their new structured payment plans, but get yourself $25 in Ting credit to put towards a new device or to service. Bring your device over if you want. It doesn't matter. They support all phones. It's the best coverage, same low rates, now with 3 coast-to-coast networks. Go through my link, inspireddisorder.com/ting, and get yourself $25 in credit. New episodes of The Ray Taylor Show come out every single day. Subscribe on IGTV, YouTube, and everywhere else podcasts are found. Binge the full week ad-free over at patreon.com/inspireddisorder. Buy Ray Taylor Show merch over at inspireddisorder.com and follow the show on Instagram at Ray Taylor Show. Have a great day, everybody. Peace out!